The leftists and big corporate media all too quickly and willingly push the terrorist organization's narrative after days of refusing to even refer to Hamas as such. We've watched far-left congressional members willingly push anti-Israel rhetoric. Let's bring in former gubernatorial candidate for Arizona and current candidate for Senate in Arizona, Kari Lake. Kari, good to have you on. I was looking for American resolve, Kari. I was looking for American grit. I was looking for an American president to lay the law down to the rest of the world and say, no, you mess with America, you're going to pay for it. I didn't hear that. I heard a lot of, let's get some money and send it here and there. Weigh in on what you heard.
I heard weakness, a man who was once again exhibiting absolute weakness for these other countries to take advantage of, clearing his throat, couldn't get his thoughts together, whispering after an absolute embarrassing display when he was in Israel yesterday. And frankly, how dare he try to tie securing our border, our southern border, which is wide open, putting every single American at risk of a potential terrorist attack, and frankly, of the drugs pouring in and the cartel control, and holding the funding to secure our border and to help Israel, to hold that hostage by forcing us to also fund his project in Ukraine. That shouldn't have even been mentioned tonight. And I was frankly appalled that he mentioned it. When you think about all of the issues that he brought up tonight in what I guess was an address to the nation, it was actually embarrassing. Every single one of those issues is an issue that was caused by Joe Biden and his incompetence and his weakness and his radicalism. Eric, this border is open because of him. I'm sitting about an hour from the border right now. I'm in Tucson, less than an hour from the border, and you can see the effects of that wide open border. Israel was attacked because Joe Biden decided to fund the Ayatollah and Iran and give them money to fund this terrorism. And what's happening in Ukraine is Joe Biden pumping money in to keep that war going. We're on the verge of World War III, and all Joe Biden has to do is get his act together and figure this out. It doesn't take a scholar to figure out that every policy he's put in play has led us to the precipice of World War III.
You know, Kari, I'm glad you brought up the border, because you have to think, with 5, 6, 8 million people coming across, catching some people we don't catch, we're catching people on the terror watch list. I mean, you're Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, ISIS for that matter. What do you do? Wow, their southern border's wide open and they're not doing a darn thing about it. Do you expect we're going to see some bad actors come across that border?
We've already seen bad actors come across the border. Some of them have been caught, and many of them have not been caught. And they're pouring in every single day. I was just having lunch today with a mom down here in Tucson. She said, and she lives south of Tucson, and she says that her son is in school with many kids who've come across, that have poured across recently. Her son is being asked to help educate these kids because the teacher doesn't speak the language of the children that are now here who don't understand. And that's one small problem. The bigger problem is we have people coming across from countries that are known to subsidize and support terrorism, and they're pouring across our border right now. And this is the problem that many Americans are fearing now. They're seeing what happened in Israel, and they're saying, when is that going to happen here? And Americans don't feel safe right now. They're concerned that Joe Biden cares more about what's happening in Ukraine and wants to pour more money into that, and is looking to drum up more conflict around the world than securing our border, making our streets safe, and actually, for once, looking to help Americans.
You know, he had such an opportunity to get back on the presidential horse, on the bandwagon, and I'm not even sure what we ended up seeing. Kari Lake, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Eric.